let's head out because I got something to show you today. Guten gardening, everybody! This is kind of a strange backdrop, I think, for my videos, but that's okay because we got something for you today that I think is really important. I'm going to start by saying this. You have to know by now, if you've paid any attention to our channel at all, that we are obsessed with sweet potatoes. We absolutely love them. I love the taste. I love the nutritional value. And while I do call cherry tomatoes garden candy, really the taste of a good sweet potato, I mean, that is like candy to me, and it's so beneficial. And I realize that not everybody has enough space to allocate to growing sweet potatoes, even though there are some bush varieties. I know that not every growing zone is a good fit for growing sweet potatoes because sometimes you just don't get enough warm weather. I get that. But right now, at exactly this time of year, there's a way to still get your sweet potato fix. All right, before I get started into this video properly, I think I want to set the stage by showing you a couple of images of some of the ways in which sweet potatoes can be prepared, because I think it's important to really get those hunger pangs for this delicious vegetable going. I mean, tell me, what's better at this time of year than a sweet potato casserole or a sweet potato pie? I'll tell you, I love sweet potato pie more than pumpkin pie. Or how about just some mashed sweet potatoes, some steamed sweet potatoes, or how about something as simple as baked sweet potato or roasted sweet potato, or even sweet potato fries? There are just so many options. And now let's talk about a way that you can get at this inexpensively, even if you don't have the ability to grow your own. You see, right now around Thanksgiving time here in the US, a lot of times the foods associated with the holiday go on some sort of sale, and that's especially true for sweet potatoes. Now, before I talk about the sale price of those sweet potatoes and what you can do if you buy them in bulk right now in order to store them, in order to keep them, I want to talk about something else. I'm going to visit a couple of different stores today to show you that what I'm talking about is pretty consistent across the board. But the first store I'm going to go to is Woodman's. And Woodman's in our area tends to be one of the least expensive stores just in general. Their produce is decent quality depending on the type of produce you're trying to get from there. But some of their sweet potatoes, their organic sweet potatoes, are not on sale right now. They're $3.49 a pound for their Stokes purple sweet potatoes and $3.49 a pound for their Hannah white sweet potatoes. And those are the organic sweet potatoes. Now, we grow our sweet potatoes organically, so you can imagine spending $3.50 a pound. Each of those sweet potatoes, and they don't even look that great, each of those sweet potatoes are going to be $5-6. Well, we're not trying to buy those. The only reason we would buy one of those sweet potatoes right now would be if we're trying to grow some sweet potato slips and start growing our own sweet potatoes, which is what we've done with the Stokes Purple and the Hannah, actually both those varieties, in the past. Instead, we're looking at their standard sweet potatoes, and if you know anything about sweet potatoes, you've been shopping for them. In our area, typically sweet potatoes are between 79 and 99 cents per pound. That's still fairly expensive if you think about a singular sweet potato, especially if we're looking at these bigger sweet potatoes where the weight can be up to about 2 pounds or so. You're still looking at a couple of dollars per sweet potato. But right now, we're seeing sale prices like this. If you're seeing 49 cents a pound to get some of these sweet potatoes, if we see 49 cents a pound here at Woodman's as our first example to get some of these sweet potatoes, that's half the price that we normally see. That's a lot easier on the pocket. If you're shopping with a budget of some sort, it's a lot easier on the pocket, I think, to buy some of these sweet potatoes, again, if you can't grow them. All right, next up, we got one of the Kroger chains. Now, this store is pretty interesting because when I look at the price of the organic sweet potatoes here, it's under $2 per pound on sale. But when I look at the price of the standard sweet potatoes, they're 39 cents a pound. They're actually less expensive than at the first store. But look at the original, the regular price of these, $1.59 a pound. And consider that's a 75% discount right now from what they normally sell for. So if you have one of the Kroger chains, it's like a Pick and Save, Kroger, Metro Market, one of those places to shop at, the price right now is really inexpensive. So let's think about this. If I buy 10, 15, 20 pounds of these, now I'm looking at a lot less money. And I can preserve those in the long term. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. And what we typically do, which is a simple way for storing sweet potatoes, is to lay them out on a single layer in a cool, dry area. Usually for us, it's in our basement, and they last for months. But of course, there are other ways to preserve your sweet potatoes even longer. If you peel and cube them into about 1-inch cubes and then blanch the sweet potatoes for a short time, you can then freeze them in freezer bags. So make sure you pick a good quality freezer bag so you don't get a lot of frostbite, or into airtight containers. Those are going to last for a long time, a year plus. And you could also can your sweet potatoes. Now, I would prefer to cube or chunk up my sweet potatoes for pressure canning much more than trying to can them whole. That's a personal preference. I think they last better. I think they store better. But, you know, with pressure canning and really canning in general, you can keep your vegetables for multiple years. So now's the time when they're on sale, these big, massive discounts, 75% off, where you can get a hold of a good amount of these sweet potatoes. Now, I'm going to repeat something that I said at the beginning, but I'm going to stress it right now. We don't typically recommend going out and buying produce. You know that. We try to grow as much as possible. But this video is for folks who either don't have the space to grow sweet potatoes, or again, don't have the space to grow enough for their family. This is an opportunity to get a hold of a really nutrient-dense sweet potato in bulk for not a lot of money, especially in comparison to the typical price. Now, again, are we trying to grow sweet potato slips from these sweet potatoes? I mean, you could try. Typically for these non-organic sweet potatoes, they don't create the kind of slips that we would normally see in organic sweet potatoes. But hey, you can try that if you want to. But this is about getting a cost-effective way of getting more food for your family. Again, especially if you can't grow your own sweet potatoes. Well, I showed you 2 stores today. The third store I was going to show you is Aldi, because we have a local Aldi, but they happen to be closed right now at the time of filming this video. But I can tell you they had their sweet potatoes on sale as well. But there are a lot of options this time of year, specifically in the day or two surrounding Thanksgiving, where you can get a really good deal and preserve some of these sweet potatoes for your family. So if you're looking to get a hold of as many sweet potatoes as you need, right now is the time. Hey, we hope you enjoyed today's video, found it useful. Hopefully this is a good tip for you, especially if you love sweet potatoes as much as we do. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give us a like, leave us a comment, remember to share and subscribe, and most importantly, remember, when you're with us, you are good to grow.